Welcome to The Explainer. I am so incredibly thrilled you're joining us today because we are setting the stage for a truly fascinating deep dive into the human mind. We're going to explore the psychology of how our childhood conditioning secretly, and I mean completely under the radar, controls our day-to-day adult lives.
Right out of the gate, I want you to seriously ask yourself, who is really controlling your reactions? When you get cut off in traffic, or when a coworker makes one of those passive-aggressive comments, or when you're just hit with unexpected stress. Are you actively choosing how you react in that moment, or are you just coasting on autopilot? See, most of us think we're in the driver's seat, but the reality? Well, it's kind of different.
And honestly, that brings us right to the core thesis of our explainer today. Our childhood habits secretly run our adult lives until we consciously recraft them. It's a massive realization. If you want to become highly successful, you can't just learn a bunch of new skills. You actually have to unlearn your automatic responses first. So let's dive into this and see exactly how these invisible scripts get written in the first place. Section 1. The unguarded mind. How we absorb behaviors without filters. To really wrap our heads around our adult reactions, we actually have to look at the literal definition of the word behavior. It comes from the roots be, meaning before, and have, meaning kept. So behaviors are literally just things we have kept from before. Think of them as pre-stored responses. They're just old files saved on a hard drive that we automatically pull up in the present moment whenever we're tested. But how did those files get downloaded in the first place? I absolutely love this metaphor of the security guard from the source material. When we're kids, our minds are basically this ultra-exclusive VIP club, but there's literally no bouncer at the front door. We absorb everything, we have zero filters, no internal security guards to stop and say, hey, wait, that's a toxic trait, you can't come in here. But as conscious adults, our job is to finally hire that security guard. We have to audit our reactions, actively select our behaviors, and throw out all those toxic treats that sneaked in when we weren't looking. Think about it like this. A kid might be watching a super popular cartoon, say Doraemon, which is all about cool gadgets and heroism. But you know what happens? They often end up absorbing the annoying, whiny, reactive traits of the sidekick character, Nobita. Why does that happen? Because their personality filters just haven't developed yet. They see a reactive behavior, it slips right past that non-existent security guard, and boom, it's permanently saved on the hard drive. Section 2, the behavior audit, taking inventory of your daily reactions.
So, how do we actually go about fixing this unguarded mind now that we're grown up? Well, it starts with this fascinating number right here, 20. According to our source material, despite all the crazy complexity of our daily lives, we only really use about 20 core behaviors to get through an entire week. Just 20 pre-stored files are dictating almost your entire life experience. Crazy, right?
Here is a super practical, specific self-audit exercise you can use to identify your own 20 behaviors. Step 1. Every single day, track 5 unique, specific reactions you had to events. And I don't mean activities like I drank some water, but actual reactions like I got totally defensive when my boss emailed me. Step 2. Stick with this for 7 days. That's going to give you 35 reactions. Step 3. When you review that list, you are absolutely going to see repetitions. You'll discover your 20 core behaviors. This audit shows you exactly which of those 20 are toxic and which are actually productive.
Let me share this perfect example from the source material. They call it the mango tree incident. Imagine parking your car under a mango tree for some nice shade. You come back, and your front windshield is completely smashed with a brick. You look into it and find out a 4-year-old kid threw a brick from a nearby roof trying to knock down a mango and just totally missed and hit your car instead. The automatic, pre-stored behavior here? Pure rage, screaming at the parents. But by auditing your behavior, you can consciously choose peace. You just get the window fixed, ask the parents not to scold the kid too harshly, and move on. Choosing not to react aggressively over a piece of glass, something totally replaceable, is a learned audited behavior.
Section 3. Forgiveness and generosity. Traits 1 and 2 of highly successful people. Now, this brings us to how we actually transition from just auditing our habits to upgrading them. Trait number 1 is forgiveness. There's this profound quote, "The brave one is the forgiving one." It takes immense, incredible courage to forgive quickly without constantly searching for excuses to just stay angry. We so often construct these elaborate narratives to justify our grudges, but true emotional bravery, that's wiping the slate clean instantly. Trait number 2 is generosity.
We all tell ourselves this lie, right? Oh, I'll be generous when I'm rich. But capacity isn't built when you have abundance. It's built the exact moment you give what you currently have. The source shares this powerful anecdote of a student who earned his very first 2,000 rupees after months and months of hard work. And instead of keeping it, he gave it away to a woman who desperately needed it for a surgery. That single act built an internal capacity for generosity in him that lasted a lifetime.
Section 4. Creating ease for others. Trait 3 of highly successful people.
There is this famous, absolutely beautiful quote by the writer Ashfaq Ahmed mentioned in the source, "May Allah make you someone who distributes ease." I mean, wow, what a breathtaking way to view your life's purpose. Not being a distributor of stress, not a distributor of panic or drama, but a distributor of ease.
And look, creating ease doesn't require massive wealth or status at all. It just requires a behavior shift where you are actively looking for ways to help the people around you. Just tiny, small efforts to remove friction from someone else's day. Holding a door open, helping a coworker with a minor task, just offering a kind word. These things create a massive ripple effect of positivity. Section 5, Judgment and Cooperation. Traits 4 and 5 of highly successful people. Now, to truly be helpful and distribute that ease we just talked about, we actually have to stop doing something else entirely. Trait number 4 is to stop judging. Those who judge others never reach self-awareness. And why is that? Well, because you only have a finite amount of mental energy each day. If you spend all your energy judging the flaws of everyone else around you, you literally have zero energy left to look in the mirror and improve yourself. It's a zero-sum game. So, trait number 5 is to shift that exact energy from judging over to cooperating. Just place a small, positive brick in someone else's foundation today. Help them build their life. You have absolutely no idea where that person is going to be in 10 years and how that one little moment of cooperation is going to yield unimaginable dividends for both of you down the road.
Section 6, Proactive Learning. Traits 6 and 7 of highly successful people. So, how do highly successful people actually plan their growth? Trait 6 is proactive learning, and we really need to differentiate between simply hearing information and actually learning it. Hearing is just knowing a house needs good ventilation. Learning is taking action and actually building that house with a fan and a backup light source for when the power goes out. Learning is behavior in action. Okay, this right here brilliantly illustrates our complete tool belt. Honestly, I highly recommend you grab a quick screenshot of this list to keep it fresh in your mind. These are the 7 conscious behaviors to replace your old, unguarded habits. 1, forgive quickly. 2, be generous now. 3, create ease for others. 4, stop judging. 5, cooperate always. 6, proactively learn. And definitely notice that 7th trait right at the bottom. Be goal-oriented. This basically means becoming an active observer of your own life, always asking yourself, where is this specific reaction taking me? To tie this whole thing together, I want to leave you with a question that kind of flips our usual perspective right on its head. Are you trying to change the constants in your life, or are you changing your variables? Think about it. In any relationship or conflict, the other person's behavior is a constant. You cannot control it. Trying to change them is just an exercise in total frustration. You are the variable. Your newly audited behaviors, your choice to forgive, to be generous, to create ease, that is the only variable you truly control in this life. Be the one who unites, not the one who divides. If you take absolute total ownership of your reactions, you don't just change your own life, you literally change the dynamic of every single room you walk into. So, what is the one pre-stored reaction you're going to rewrite today? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.